Didn't think we could stretch that topic into 5 minutes, huh?
We mined a lot.
Awesome, awesome. All right. So Tom Brokaw just appeared on Morning Joe, named after a sex act, I believe, to discuss the boost in gun sales since the Arizona shooting. Brokaw explained this uptick as a bunch of scared lemmings stockpiling their guns in underground bunkers in case the new laws arrive to ban them. He elaborated somewhat.
In Arizona, they have a wide open system. I would be nervous about going into a bar or restaurant in Arizona on a Saturday night where people can carry concealed without permits.
You would be nervous? That's the point, Tom. You should be nervous. And by you, I really mean generally any jerk who comes in to start trouble at the bar. That's the beauty of guns, or the threat of guns. It's a natural motivator to lighten up, back off, and stop eyeing my powerful pecs. Granted, they are delicious. And let's not forget, people bought those guns to protect themselves. As John Lott Jr. points out, a major key in determining how many people are harmed by a killer is the time frame between the start of the attack and when another gun arrives. The quicker it gets there, the faster the mayhem ends. To me, this debate over gun ownership is class warfare. People like Brokaw just don't know anybody anymore who owns guns, except, of course, the security around him when he visits NBC. He's safe and sound, spouting his opinions, not like everybody else at campuses and supermarkets. So from his perch, he stereotypes gun owners as gun nuts, hunkering in bunkers. It would be the same if I said all newscasters were egocentric, aloof elitists who can't pronounce the letter L. I was in no way referring to you, Tom. And if you disagree with me, you're a racist homophobe. You. Kevin, am I spot on Brokaw's unwarranted concern?
Well, it's no surprise to find Tom Brokaw not exactly understanding supply and demand. You know, people in Arizona are expecting new restrictions on gun ownership, and they're out there probably stockpiling up because they want them, first of all. Secondly, because they feel threatened because there's just been this horrible crime there, and these things tend to kind of happen in little waves. And third, I suspect there's maybe some profit motive there. You know, when the assault weapons ban went through in the Clinton administration, a lot of people, myself included, actually bought some of the rifles that were going to go on that, and held on to them for a while, made a fortune off of them. So if they do, you know, revive that sort of thing, revive those restrictions, some people are going to make some decent money off of it.
You, sir, are a death merchant.
Oh, yeah, basically.
You are a death merchant. I knew, because he's bald, he has the beard, and he's dressed in black.
Look at him.
I know, he scares the crap out of me.
I got a cabin in Montana.
I bet you, yes.
Find out about it.
Really?
No.
I've never been to Montana. I'd love to go there.
It's lovely this time.
I think so, too. You know, I'm good with camping. I can cook. Do you have sterno?
Oh, no, we just do open fire.
Oh, okay, good. Joe, speaking of open fire, we're talking about guns here.
Yeah.
What's your take on this?
You know, first of all, Brokaw, didn't he write The Greatest Generation?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did he think all those hard-nosed World War II vets were carrying under their jackets? Wallet chains or something like that? I mean, these guys were pro-gun.
Yeah.
So I don't see what the big deal is. And I don't know. I don't really give a crap anymore about what Arizona lets people do or doesn't let people do. They repeatedly failed the test of intelligence and ethics with their ban of, or not celebrating Martin Luther King Day, with their stance on immigration, and now with the gun control. At the end of the day, don't go to Arizona anymore.
Well, for all of those reasons, except Martin Luther King, I would go to Arizona because I like their stance on immigration, and I don't know enough about the MLK stuff. But
they were the last state to take the day off, and they were pulled.
Maybe they're hard workers, Bill. Maybe they are hard workers.
They're very hard workers at being white.
Oh, terrible!
That's
terrible.
Right,
You're smearing an entire group of people, and I won't have that, Bill.
They smear things on me all the time.
The only thing you can smear is yourself.
Hot sauce.
All right, Essie, I know you shoot lots of things.
Yeah.
Animals primarily.
Yeah, actually, I was on. What a tool this guy is. I was on BBC this morning talking about gun rights with a liberal counterpart. And in defense of gun control, he said, why? Because I don't like violence. Yeah, me neither. That's why I have a gun.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, you have to explain to me why the most horrific shootings happen in gun-free zones, like schools, Fort Hood, gun-free zone, and never happen at like NRA conventions or gun shows. That when you can explain to me that fundamental truth, then maybe you can get me onto your side, Tom Brokaw.
But you know, I will side with Brokaw in the sense that I mean I haven't been around guns in a long time, so it's unnerving. Like when I remember I went to the Allentown Fairgrounds for farmers market, and they had at that day they had a gun fair,
Awesome.
and there were people just walking around with guns, and it kind of freaks you out. But it's because you are you're unfamiliar with it.
It's alien, and the first thing they teach you when you own a gun, you have kids, is to show your kids the guns.
Yeah.
So that it's not mysterious, it's not this can't touch kind of thing. When they're used to it, it becomes a lot safer.
Yeah, I do this. I go, you want to see some guns?
Yeah.
Look at this.
So
used to,
original.
I know. Saw that one coming.
I used to edit a newspaper in a small town in Colorado, and people not only walk around with handguns, but with big, hunting rifles because it's a big hunting place. And really, almost everyone in the town had one. You'd go to a little cafe for breakfast in the morning, and people would sit their rifles down on the table next to it.
Awesome.
You know what the home invasion burglary rate was in that town? About 0.
It was minus
because
10.
You would die in a hail of gunfire.
Yeah,
Negative.
People who would be thinking about home invasion were shot.
Yeah.
Minority Report.
I want to go. We have a guy who is a regular viewer of the show named Jeff. He's from Tallahassee. He often has some kind of interesting things to say. He's usually living at the library. Jeff, you there?
A couple of my friends are trying to convince me to go hiking in the Adirondacks, but it's funny to me that they would try and convince me to do something that I have no interest in doing. So you'll have to ask them.
It's a pretty impressive analysis of what's going on.
This is, if I may raise a counterpoint to your point that you stated earlier.
Are you going to bash Arizona again?
Well, no.
You're bashing a whole group of people who are just exercising their Second Amendment.
But this is my point. Whether you're in agreement with their gun laws or in non-agreement with their gun laws, the point is this. I don't really care. If you have a problem with the way things are run in Arizona, stay out of Arizona. Why is this a federal issue? It's not. It's a state issue. That's my point.
All right. That's a fair point, I guess. All right.
Slightly crooked, but a fair point.
So,
Silence the table.
does John Travolta sleep with men? Toes on his dresser?
Wow.
Well, he does love his mints.